Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are healthy and safe at home. So now let us start our today's science class. So please write down today's date, that is 24th of August in your copy, and let's move ahead. In our last live class, children, we had started our chapter number 6, plant and environment, and we had discussed what are the learning outcomes of this chapter. Yes, and few more terms related to this chapter we had discussed. Okay, and from moving ahead from there, today we will be discussing about terrestrial plant. Okay, so what are terrestrial plants, how these plants have adapted themselves to all the land regions, and what are their adaptations, all those things we are going to discuss, okay, in this today's class. So now let's move ahead and revise the two important terms in our which we have discussed in last class, that is habitat and adaptation. So what is habitat? Habitat is the area in which plant grow comfortably. Okay, that means any particular area in which a particular plant naturally grows. Okay, that is called habitat of that particular plant. Okay, like we can say a cactus is adapted to grow in a hot desert area, isn't it? Lotus habitat is water. That particular area in which a plant is very comfortable in growing is called habitat. And another term was adaptation. So what is adaptation? The body feature and spatial characteristic that help plant to live successfully in a particular environment. Yes, we had a brief discussion about that in our last class. Yes, all plants according to their environment, according to their climate, what they do, they try to adapt themselves. And why do they do that? They do so that they can get the optimum utilization of nutrients and resources present there. Okay, so they adapt themselves according to their environment, according to their surrounding, according to their climate, and they change, they develop some characteristic in themselves. So that is called adaptation. Okay, and why do they do that? So that they can survive. Okay, so that they can survive. So now let's move ahead. Here comes our topic, that is terrestrial plants. So what are terrestrial plants? Terrestrial plants are those plants that grow on land, are called terrestrial. You can see the spelling of terrestrial, TERRESTRIAL, terrestrial plants. So plants growing on land are called terrestrial plants. So if we say the word land, land means it comprises of various landforms. It can be mountain, it can be plains, it can be desert, it can be swampy areas, coastal areas. So there are wide range in this particular word land. Okay, so and in every area plants are present. Okay, and these area, the climate and other features, the soil and all the conditions are different in these particular area. Like for example, mountain areas are very cold, desert areas are very hot, then coastal areas are wet and humid. Okay, so these areas are different, their climates are different, their soil texture is different, the nutrient in soil is different. Okay, so these areas are totally different from one another. So plant growing in these condition have adapted themselves to survive in this condition, and how they have adapted themselves and what features they have developed in to survive in these condition, that we will be understanding. Okay, see here the sentence, these plants, that means the terrestrial plants have adapted themselves to grow in these particular land areas. Okay, so now let us move ahead and deal one by one these particular plants. Okay, so now let's move ahead. So the first very common one is plant growing in plain area, that is plain. Okay, it is neither mountain, it is neither desert, the normal plain area. So the area or the climate in this particular zone is generally hot, very warm to hot in summer and very cold in winter. Okay, so here plants, how they have adapted, they have many branches, they have, yes, let me take a pen here, they have many branches. The plant growing in plain areas have many branches so that they can absorb maximum sunlight. Yes, and they shed their leaves in autumn and bear new leaves in spring season. Generally, they shed their leaves in autumn and have new leaves in spring season. Yes, and the common example of plant growing in plains are mango, neem, peepal. Okay, these are plants which are adaptive. They have adapted themselves to grow in plain areas. Okay, they can very easily grow in plain area, and if you try to grow these plant into a very high altitude region or a desert region, they will not be able to survive. Okay, now let us move ahead. Yes, now coming to the next category, that is mountain plants. So what are mountain plants? The plants which are growing in mountain areas are called mountain plants. So what type of climate are there do we have in mountains and hilly regions? In mountains and hilly regions, the climate is generally very cold and snowfall is very frequent in these areas. So in order to survive there in that snowfall, that too cold climate, plants have adapted themselves. And what adaptation they have done? Plants, they are very tall, very straight. Why do you think they are tall in that region? So that they can reach and they can get the sunshine. Okay, that's why the plant in those area, the mountain areas, they are generally very tall. Okay, and they are conical. Why they are conical? So that when there is snowfall, they can slide off the snow. Okay, the snow, if it is a shape is like this, then snow will very easily slide down from the plant branches. Okay, conical shape is like this. Now if it is like this, then snow will be kept here only, and it will not be able to slide off easily. But when a thing is like this, it is very easily it is going to slide down. Okay, and why it is necessary to have that conical shape? So that if snow is not able to slide down, then snow will collect on the branches, and branches of the plant may get very heavy with the load of snow and they will break down. Okay, and another adaptation there is their leaves are very needle shape. Okay, and it is waxy also. And so that why it is needle shape? So that it can lose very minimum amount of water. Okay, and just because of its waxy nature and needle like shape, it can very easily shed the snow. Okay, without any difficulty. So let me show you a few mountain plants here. See, this is a picture of, let me move my picture here. Yes, so these are mountain trees. Yes, so you can see their shape, they are conical shape and they are very tall. Yes, you can see they are very tall. So I have just now told you they are very tall and conical shape, tall to get the sunshine. Okay, sunlight properly. And why conical shape? So that they can allow snow to slide down very easily. Okay, now let me move to show you next picture. Yes, you can see the needle shaped leaf. I think it is a picture of a pine leaves. Yes, so they are very needle shaped, so that they can lose minimum amount of water, and it's very easy for them to shed the snow, the collected snow. And even they are waxy. So waxy coating, it prevents themselves, or it protect them from the wet snow. Okay, if snow is present there, the waxy coating, it does not allow the water content or the leaves to get rot easily. So now let's move ahead. Yeah, plant example are fir, pine and cedar plants. Okay, trees. Now let me move to this one, desert plant. So what type of climate do we have in desert? Desert generally are very scarce in water. It is very hot in daytime and very cold in night. Yes, so the plant here are adapted to survive with least amount of water. The main thing is water scarcity there. So how to survive there? So they have modified, they have adapted themselves. How they have adapted? Leaves are either reduced to spine, very fine leaves, very needle like leaves or spine like leaves, so that it can prevent water loss. So now here your question may come, ma'am, how leaves, the spine shaped leaves help in prevention of water loss? So you will be learning about this in your higher classes, children, about the term transpiration. There is a term called, a process called transpiration, in which you will understand. Let me just tell you a brief thing about transpiration. The leaves, some of the water from the leaves of plant, it is removed, or just you have learnt about evaporation. Water is converted into water form and going up. Yes, like that, leaves of plant also lose some water. Okay, that process is called transpiration. So when leaves are broad shape, the rate of transpiration, water loss will be more. When the leaves are very tiny spine shape, okay, so it will prevent the water loss there. One thing is there. And what other modification they have done, other adaptation, their stem are very fleshy, okay, and green. So the fleshy stem, what is the use? It can store food and water. Okay, the fleshy thick stem, it is going to store food and water. And apart from them, the stem is generally green in color. So what is the use of green color of a stem? It can perform photosynthesis. Yes, the green stem, it can perform photosynthesis. And I hope you are aware of the term photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food. Okay, so since generally photosynthesis is carried out by leaves of plant, but here leaves are converted or reduced to spine, so they could not perform photosynthesis. And photosynthesis is very important for them to survive. They are producing their own food with that process only. Okay, so the process of photosynthesis is here done by stem. This is one very major adaptation of desert plant. And another important thing here is the root system. Okay, they are having very extensive root, very developed root. And why do you think they are having so extensive developed root? So that they can absorb water. Okay, so since water is very scarce there, so their root system is developed so nicely, so deep into land, so that they can get whatever water is present in the soil, the little water, they can absorb it nicely. So example of desert plant here are cactus, date, prickly pears. Okay, so now let us move to the next one here. Yes, here is the image of cactus plant here. Yes, you can see here, you can't see any leaves or spine present on the surface. Yes, these are stem only. Yes, the thick, spongy, fleshy stem, it contains food and water stored for the plant. Now let me show you this one. This is a cactus one. The green part is a stem, it is carrying photosynthesis, and the spines you can see in the body of the plant, that are actually leaves of plant. Yes, so now let's move ahead. Yes, now coming to plant in the swampy areas. So what are these swampy areas? These areas have very sticky and clay soil. Yes, they are having very sticky and clay soil, so very difficult for plants to grow, because air cannot reach in to the roots. Since it is very thick, sticky soil, clay soil are present there, so air cannot reach into the roots. So if air is not there, the plant is, if oxygen is not reach to the roots of the plant, it is not going to survive. Okay, so therefore they develop breathing root. Yes, these roots come out of the soil for oxygen and sunlight and helps plant to breathe. You can see in here in the picture. Okay, they can't breathe just because of very wet, clay, sticky soil. So the roots have come out of the ground. Yes, you can see an example of these type of plant is mangroves. Yes, M-A-N-G-R-O-V-E, mangrove. So now let's move ahead. Yes, plant in coastal areas. So what type of climate do we have in coastal areas? Generally it is hot and wet climate and strong winds and heavy rainfall. is very frequent in coastal area. So what they have done, adapted themselves. How they have adapted? Their stems are generally sturdy and flexible, so that they can withstand very strong wind. If it is not flexible or sturdy stem, it is going to break down. So what they have done, these plants or trees, they have adapted or modified their stem into very flexible and sturdy. And especially in coconut tree, you can see leaves with many long strips to overcome strong wind. Okay, if it there be banana leaves, so it is going to wither, it is going to tear down totally. But see the coconut leaves, they are made with long stripes. Yes, so when what happened, when wind is coming, it can very easily pass across those stripe areas. Okay, and the leaves is protected. So the example for the coastal areas plant is coconut tree. Few more example can be here. Coastal areas, rubber trees there. Okay, but their leaves are not just like this, but then too they are coastal area plant, and they have adapted themselves. They are flexible and they do not shed their leaves yearly like generally in plains we have read about. Now in plains, generally leaves are shed during autumn season, and new leaves are plant bear new leaves in spring season. But these plant, they do not shed leaves easily. Okay, so these are the things we have learned. So now let's move ahead and summarize the things. So what are the things we have learned? Let us see what are the things we have learned. We have started our class with plants in plain, terrestrial plants. Yes, firstly we discussed about plains. Yes, so the plants in plains are having so many branches to absorb maximum sunlight. Then about mountain plants we have discussed. They are very tall and conical shape. Their needles are their leaves are needle shape. Okay, their conical shape helps to slide down snow. Yes, these are the pictures. Then we have discussed about desert plant. Since desert is having water scarcity, their leaves are modified to spines. They reduce to spines, and stem carry out photosynthesis. Stems store food and water. You can see in the picture, isn't it? Then we have discussed about swampy area plant. Yes, you can see, since this area is having very clay sticky soil, so the oxygen is not available for the roots. So in order to get the oxygen, what they do, they come out of the soil like this, and they are known as breathing root. Okay, so example is mangrove here. Then we discussed about the coastal areas plant. Okay, so the stem is very sturdy and flexible. They are having thick leaves. They do not shed their leaves easily, and leaves are having strong stripe to overcome strong winds. So these are the things, children, we have learned in today's class about terrestrial plant. Please revise these concepts about the adaptations. Okay, in our next live class we will be again revising few concepts of this, and then we will be discussing about aquatic plant. Till then, bye bye, take care.